Is it a choice to be annoyed by obnoxious people? That's the question I'm asking you, and ultimately, that's the theory I'm presenting to you. I'm submitting to you that it is a choice whether or not you are annoyed by obnoxious people. Now, let's get to walking and let's get to work. It's all coming down to emotional intelligence. Something I have learned in my life is when it comes to my emotions, I am in control of that as long as I don't give that control away to other people. Now, you've known certain people that are offended by anything. They're so sensitive, they're so easy to set off. So obviously, for that person to improve would have to mean they'd have to make a choice to not be so sensitive and to have more control over their own emotions. But then there's like people like me on the other end of the spectrum, and I proclaim that no one can insult me, offend me, or hurt my feelings. Because it's a choice. So you can say whatever you want to me. I'm not insulted at all. I hold no grudge against anyone who says anything to me because I'm in control of my emotions, not other people. Other people do not affect my emotions. Okay? So when you take that to another level, then I submit to you that even when people are obnoxious, you get to choose whether they're annoying you or not. Because it still comes down to other people controlling your mind. But you can take control of that. Now, a prime example is a comment that I got this morning on my YouTube channel. Just so you know, brief background. I did a video about a month ago after I found out my heritage DNA test, which showed the Italian part of me apparently ended up being Spanish. And I implied when I said that I was expecting to be more European, not Spanish. I said that, which implies that I think that Spain is not part of Europe. Now, yes, I know where Spain is on a map, and I know it's next to Portugal. I know where it is on a map. But the way I said it made it seem like I had no idea where Spain was, or at least some people are perceiving it that way and being very vocal about it. So I want to read you this comment that I received, and then I want you to see how this person truly was annoyed by my obnoxiousness or my ignorance. They were annoyed by it, emotionally affected by it, enough so that they left this comment, which is not necessarily short. So the video I'm referring to that this comment is left on is called MyHeritage, Spain Isn't Part of Europe, American Mindset. That's the video if you want to look it up on my channel. All right, the comment, here we go. It's from someone I guess called Godaim Shield. Quote, "Wow, but if you don't know where Spain is, that means you have no idea about your own country's history. Don't you know how your country came to be? Do you think America was always there? Spain discovered America. So what did they tell you? That England did it? Or that Spain was America itself? I just don't understand how you guys can be so obnoxious sometimes. It's not even about others, it's about yourselves. And it's not just you, it's about millions of people. I just can't understand it. It's like if a Spanish person thought Rome was in Asia. It is just so stupid. I cannot imagine." End quote. All right, so let's just process that briefly. And we won't even distract ourselves with any claims that were in that, but we want to look at the psychology of it, okay? I just don't understand how you guys can be so obnoxious sometimes, okay? So, in my perceived ignorance, in that I said, I thought the test would show I was more European, not Spanish. Okay, in me saying that, I became obnoxious. I became ignorant. I became a stereotypical American who is not that familiar with what exactly constitutes as Europe. Even now, I admit, I still don't know if Turkey's part of Europe. And if it does trouble someone so much that an American doesn't know exactly which countries are or are not in Europe, then I still would think, but what about Africa? Do you know every country in Africa? Because as an American, I'm removed. It's not like I'm more attached to Europe, more so than Africa. I mean, I know that 37% of my blood, a little bit more than that, is from Europe, but I don't see why I should know more about Europe than Africa. Africa is just as relevant to Europe. An African person is just as important as a European. So unless you know every single country on the earth, why pick apart Europe? I'm not partial to Europe. I mean, I'm 23% Central American, you know? So it's like, well, and even now I couldn't tell you all the countries in South America or Central America or any couldn't do it, don't need to. I guess it goes back to how I'm the, you know, ignorant American. Because as Americans, we're not held accountable to that standard like the rest of the world is, to know all these things. My life resumes as normal whether I do or do not know what countries are in Europe. But the fundamental issue, this person is annoyed by me being obnoxious. Now, this person took time out of their day to type this in the comments, right? What did all the other people do who watched that video? Even if they thought, yeah, that's another ignorant American, they didn't take the time to be emotionally affected to the point that they typed a response. Now, am I emotionally affected by this? I'm not. My emotional state say the same. I actually just, what I appreciate about it actually is that it gives me an opportunity to talk about how we have control over our emotions. And even if someone is being obnoxious, can you not just ignore it and move on with your life? Why is it important to tell that person that they're annoying? Why is it important to get emotional and bring up all these things? Why is that important? See, I'm secure in myself enough so that I can hear all kinds of ignorance all around me, all kinds of stupid ideas. Hey, Nick, did you know the world was really flat? Hey, Nick, did you know that Pangea was never a real thing? Hey, Nick, all these crazy things. And you know what I do? Oh, see you later. And then I go the other way. That's the end of it. I'm not annoyed by people being ignorant or obnoxious. I assume that a lot of people have, you know, views of the world that are different than mine, because they do. And I'm okay with it. So, it is a choice to be annoyed when someone is obnoxious or ignorant. It actually is a choice whether you are emotionally affected by other people. It's a choice, but most people never get to that point. For me, I have, and that's why I like talking about it. I want other people to know how freeing it can be to not let other people control your emotions, or even simply to make you annoyed, when ultimately it's your choice. All the other people didn't leave comments. All the other people were not annoyed, were they? But that person was. It's a choice.